Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. Today we are diving into a truly fascinating and, honestly, pretty unsettling digital mystery. We're looking at a highly sophisticated, newly uncovered cyber threat that was just brought to light by the cybersecurity firm ESET. We are exploring the shadowy world of mobile espionage, a landscape where, as you'll see, absolutely nothing is exactly what it seems.
So I want you to just think about this for a second. What happens when the very tools used to uncover the truth are weaponized against the truth seekers themselves? It's a pretty chilling thought, right? I mean, we all rely on specific apps and platforms to stay informed, to stay safe, and to dig into the facts of global events. But in the campaign we're unpacking today, the attackers didn't try to just kick down the front door with brute force. Instead, they built a trap that looks exactly like the everyday tools researchers and investigators use. Let's look at how they actually pulled off this massive deception.
Okay, Part 1, Spyware in Disguise, and how this trap gets set.
According to a June 2026 report from the Hacker News, researchers over at ESET flagged a brand new Android spyware. They codenamed it ASIN. Now, ASIN is a highly stealthy malware campaign that goes specifically after Arabic-speaking users. But what makes ASIN so interesting isn't just the malicious code itself, it's the delivery. The attackers didn't blast out generic phishing emails. No, they built entirely fake ecosystems, specifically mimicking utility apps and news sources that their targets would naturally want to download.
ESET actually tracked down multiple campaigns using 3 primary malicious websites as bait. First up, we've got govlens.net. Registered in May 2025, this site completely impersonates a legitimate government news source. Then there's pdf-reader.help, which poses as a secure PDF editor. And finally, livewarmap.com, claiming to offer real-time updates on military incidents. What's brilliant here is how perfectly tailored these lures are. They aren't offering you free games or a new iPhone. They're offering highly specific professional-grade utilities. And here is the absolute kicker. ESET notes that each of these apps actually combines legitimate functionality with stealthy spyware. So the app works, you read the news, you edit your PDF, all while the spyware is just quietly running in the background.
And this just shows you how deep their social engineering really goes. The attackers didn't just spin up fake websites and wait, they actively marketed them. They promoted the fake Govlens site on Facebook and set up a dedicated Telegram channel for their fake war map. Take a look at the legitimate Live Universal Awareness Map, or LiveWUAMAP, a very real, trusted platform used all over the world to map geopolitical events. Now compare that to the attacker's fake Telegram channel, LiveWUAMAP_R. By using a name that is basically identical to a trusted open-source tool, they instantly hijack the real organization's credibility. If you're hunting for war updates and you see that Telegram handle, you're going to trust it.
Moving on to Section 2. Springing the trap, or basically the infection mechanics.
So how does this actually get on a device? Well, the infection starts when the victim visits one of those fake websites. Maybe they clicked a link from that deceptive Telegram channel, and they download the ABK file, the Android application package. Now, because these apps obviously aren't on the official Google Play Store, the user has to manually install the app. They have to intentionally bypass Android's default security warnings about third-party sources, and then they actively grant the app their requested device permissions. Only then does the spyware activate. It's a pretty stark reminder that the biggest vulnerability out there is often just human trust. The attackers convinced people that these tools were so essential, they essentially walked right past their own device's security checkpoints.
Section 3. Tracing the threat through forensic breadcrumbs.
ESET first picked up on this malware spreading way back in early 2025. But cybersecurity is basically like connecting a giant series of dots. In October 2025, a crucial artifact linked to ANSIN popped up on the malware analysis platform VirusTotal, uploaded by someone in Turkey. Then by December, researchers tracked an APK being downloaded from a new domain, c-pdf.net. The campaign just kept evolving. By mid-January 2026, a fresh sample was caught, this time masquerading as an app called Syria Defense Map. This timeline is super important because it shows us this wasn't just a quick smash and grab. It's a sustained, evolving, and highly active campaign that constantly updates its lures to match current events. Let's make this a bit more concrete by looking at these recent detections, bringing it out of the abstract and into the real world. In December 2025, that fake PDF reader infected a Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro, running Android 15. Just a month later, the fake Syria Defense Map, downloaded from syriadefensemap.com, hit a Xiaomi Redmi Note 13 Pro Plus 5G, also on Android 15. We're seeing fully updated modern hardware being compromised here.
It just goes to show that having the absolute latest operating system doesn't mean a thing if you manually hand the keys over to the spyware yourself. The real-world footprint of these attacks is proof of just how successful this unattributed cluster of activity really is.
Which brings us to Section 4, Unmasking the Victims. Who is the real target here?
Think about those app names again. GovLens, WarMap, Syria Defense Map, secure PDF readers. Ask yourself, who really goes out of their way to use these specific types of apps? Your average smartphone user might check a mainstream news app, sure, but they aren't usually seeking out dedicated real-time geopolitical conflict maps or niche government policy lenses. This bait was incredibly specific. It was laser-focused to appeal to a very particular kind of professional mind, someone whose everyday job is to analyze documents, monitor regional conflicts, and track military movements in the Middle East.
And here is the big reveal. ESET totally nailed it in their conclusion. They stated, "It thus seems possible that this set of activities may have been, at least partially, meant to target Arabic-speaking journalists or OSINT practitioners." OSINT, that stands for Open Source Intelligence. These are the researchers who literally scour public data to uncover the truth about global events. So the very people whose job it is to investigate, expose, and report on sensitive geopolitical issues were the ones being hunted. The whole ASIN campaign was essentially a giant honeypot, a customized trap built specifically to compromise the digital watchdogs of Arabic-speaking regions.
It's a pretty brilliant and completely malicious strategy that totally turns the tables on the investigators. And honestly, it leaves us with a huge wake-up call about our own digital hygiene. When hackers stop trying to hack your phone and start trying to hack your trust instead, the whole game changes. So I'm going to leave you with this final thought today. If the specialized tools meant to help journalists and researchers find the truth can be compromised and perfectly cloned, how safe are your own trusted digital sources? Take a moment today to really audit where your information and your apps are actually coming from. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious and stay safe out there in the digital world.